I'm Amanda Collins and I'm a Chrysalis Effect Wellbeing Coach and Balance Procedure Trainer. And today I just wanted to share with you how I prepared myself for having my thyroid operation that I had done 2.5 days ago. And I just wanted to give you a few tips and share my experience with you. So when you first get told that you're having an operation, you can imagine you're very stressed and you go into this stress response. Now that isn't very good for our immune system and our healing. So we've got to work on how we feel beforehand as much as like our recovery after, and get ourselves prepared. So make sure you're resting well, make sure that you're eating well and not having too many sugary things, and a good balanced diet. But also look at your emotions. Have you got any fears going on at the moment? What's those thoughts, what's that chitter chatter going on in your head? And we've got to work on those. So one of the ways that I work on sort of like my emotions especially is with using the balance procedure cards. Now please, do have a look at my other video to say how I use the balance procedure cards, particularly for this operation. But that's one of the things that I used to balance my emotions. So on the day of the operation, obviously you go into the pre-assessment lounge and you can wait there for, they said 3 to 4 hours, and I was in there, I suppose, about 3.25 hours I was waiting. So you've got to have things that can relax you while you're in there. So obviously I had my balance procedure cards that I was balancing with. So whenever I had a thought that sort of like threw me out of balance, I would balance that to calm me back down, and also balance to see myself already recovered. And that's important. See yourself as the operation's already happened, you've recovered, and you're doing all the things, brilliant things that you want to do. So I had my balance procedure cards with me. And then the other thing, obviously, you take in a book, to read. But I found actually on this particular thing, my mind wasn't in the right place to actually be reading. So what I found was even better for me is I took in my little iPod. Now on my iPod I've got all my healing meditations on there anyway, but I've also got an audio book. And that's just nice, that you don't necessarily have to be really thinking about things. You could just be listening. So I listened a lot of the time to my audiobook. And I just wanted to show you the headphones that I've got with these. And I don't know if you've seen these before, but they're actually called sleep phones. And basically they're a headband, but in the headband itself is flat speakers. So when you're wearing them, they really are lovely and comfortable, and you can sleep on them and everything else. So sleep phones, absolutely a must, I think. So as I say, I had those while I was waiting, and then obviously while I was listening to my nice audio book, I done my special colouring. So take your colouring in, and with your nice pens, treat yourself to some nice metallic-y, bright colour pens, so that was what I was doing while I was waiting. Something else that I took beforehand, and which is really excellent for after recovery, is your arnica. So your arnica 30C. So you can take 1 or 2 doses, just before you go in, but definitely as soon as you come out and you're in recovery. I had to laugh at myself. My friends all call me Amanda Arnica Collins, because I am the queen of arnica. And as I was coming round for recovery, you can imagine you're all groggy and everything, and the first thing I said is, please pass my arnica. So I started taking my arnica as soon as I was awake, basically. So when you come round from recovery, if you don't remember, then obviously, when you've got somebody who comes up, a relative or a friend or something, get them to administer the arnica for you. So you want to sort of like take, one of these, every sort of like 30 minutes for the first 6 doses to start with. And it really does help with both physical trauma, of like the bruising and everything that goes on, but also emotional trauma, so like shock and things like that. So it really does help calm you down. Plus, research has shown that taking arnica after an operation, you need less pain relief. So it's another good reason. So you could take one or maybe 2 doses. All depends how long you're waiting. So I did take one before I went down, and then sort of like as soon as after recovery, I started taking those. So do the first 6 doses every half an hour after your operation, and then 4 times a day. So that's really brilliant. So the other thing that I had with me is obviously I could only drink water up to a certain part of the day. So I'd done my rescue remedy and my batch flower remedies. So in here was rescue remedy, which is good for, sort of like emotional shock and trauma and everything again, and worry. And I had mimulus, aspen and elm in mine, but they're very individual, so it all depends what you're feeling at the time to what you would put up in your blend. So if you can't have fluids, obviously you can put this on your pulse points, so on your wrist and elbows, and it still gets in that way. And then once you've recovered and you've come out the other side, add this to all your water that you're drinking, even just to the big jug that's beside your table or the bottle of water, and just add that. So you can look on my website to how to take that. It is literally 4 drops 4 times a day minimum, but if you wanted to take 4 drops 8 times a day or 10 times a day, then that's fine. It's only a minimum dose. So batch flower remedy is absolutely brilliant. So that was a must. So then after obviously I was recovered and I was up on the ward, I mean, it's a bit warm up there and things like that. So I did take this nice water spray. So that was a nice to sort of like cool yourself down on your face. So that was really good. I was lucky enough in my room. Well, I was actually lucky enough to be given a private room. So that's how lucky I was. And I had a fan. But remember to take a little fan with you, which is good. Because we're going through a heat wave at the moment, we were lucky to be able to buy one of those. So what I'd done is, in true girl guiding style, I had already made myself a little fan out of cardboard, which I was going to sit and decorate with my pens. But that works just as effectively, but you just have to do a little bit more hard work yourself. But definitely that's worth having a little fan. I treated myself as well, having some, antibacterial wipes for your hands. And this is what I was going to say. I treated myself and I took in a little bit of nice hand cream, because you get really sort of like dry while you're in there. So that was nice to do. Another couple of things that were really good for your recovery, taking an eye mask. They do tend to open the curtains quite early in the morning, so you need your eye mask for while you're resting, and it is also quite noisy, so again, take earplugs. So I had those. I did take a little bit of lavender in, just to put a little bit on my pillow. I took my own pillow in actually, which was very nice, but you could just put a little bit of this on a tissue or on your pillow and sniff afterwards. That was really relaxing. That was really nice. Also, what else have I got? I took in some straws. They have got straws, but it's just easier if you're lying down to be able to do your drinking. And what else have I got here? Oh, especially if you are gluten-free. Remember, they don't do gluten-free snacks a lot of the time, so do take in some gluten-free snacks or gluten-free biscuits to have with your cup of tea. Me being awkward, I'm a decaf tea person, so take in your own decaf tea bags. So some places do have it, some places don't. So don't forget your tea bags, because you would want that lovely cup of tea afterwards. Other things, remember your glasses, extra tissues, things like that, and obviously a few change for your phone or any goodies. So the most important thing is to really put yourself in a relaxation state afterwards. So first of all, I wasn't sleeping too well after the anaesthetic, so I would just be listening to my audiobooks and my healing meditation. So it was really lovely, just to really chill out. with my little bit of lavender, with my rescue remedy and everything in my water, and using my balance procedure cards. And I mean, I actually kept on going to sleep with these on my chest and doing my balance procedure. So this is how, I'm home now, and obviously it's only 2.5 days, and it's still swollen, but I'm still taking my arnica, and that's bringing down the swelling very nicely. And all of yesterday I didn't take any pain relief, so it's just a bit tender, but that's really good. So I hope that some of these little tips of what I've used would help you if you have to go in for an operation. So please, share this, leave any comments, and I'll be happy to answer any other questions. So, but just remember to relax and always see yourself, when you think about the operation, see yourself as it already has happened after the event, you being fully recovered and fully well. So good luck with everything, and hopefully I'll get to talk to you another time. Okay, bye.